Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Schla. And today I sort of woke up late, so I guess that's 2 days in a row. And I guess that's not too big of a surprise, is it? Yeah, I don't know. Because, whoa, what? Something just popped up that was not... Wow, that's really gonna... That's really gonna eat at me. Something came up saying, like, something's wrong with the car, but, like, just for a split second. And it went away before I could even read anything, or... I'm assuming that just means it was a glitch, but... You know, what a way to stress out this... Like, there's no, the warning lights, or it was like a message just popped up for just like a split second. My theory is that it kind of detected something was wrong, but it wasn't really. That's like my theory, because of the way I was situated in the car or something, but still a little bit unsettling, you know, to see that and now be driving. But I don't know. I mean, you can't like get that crazy about that kind of stuff, because it probably was just like, you know, it popped up and then it disappeared before I could do anything. But then, you know, I worry about, well, what if it... Yeah, I don't know. I guess you don't have time for it, but I don't really like that kind of stuff. Anyways, trying not to lose my mind over that. What else is there to... What was that? Yeah, I don't think the microphone's going to come today. I could be wrong, but it just seemed like it was not going to make it today. That was my... Like, I looked at the tracking. I'm kind of seeing where it's at and where I'm at. And it still says it's going to... But I'm not... You know what I'm saying? It's so... At this point, I know I talked about it yesterday on a walk switch law, but... I don't think that's going to happen. It's just like, it's probably just going to come tomorrow, and then the entire... But there's some okayness with that, because then at least it gives me like the whole weekend to kind of get situated with the new setup. So it's kind of nice, but it's still a little bit annoying, because if anything, you know, you were really hoping that would be like a rush shipment. I hope I I always do this. I always like forget if I did stuff, and then I have to like double check. Yeah, I think I did. But yeah, like I forget if I put my lunch in my thing, and then I get super concerned about, you know. Yeah, it's weird. I always have to like double check stuff. I can't just chill. Can never just chill. But yeah, I hope that was really weird. I've never seen that message pop up. I just think, again, with what I was doing, it just incorrectly detected that something was wrong. But in reality, it wasn't. I think that's a pretty fair assumption. What was I going to talk about? Yeah, the microphone not getting here on time, that's one thing. I guess what I was just thinking about is, again, how the system is, and how, a lot of people don't seem to want to believe that it's possible that it's the system's fault that you can't get ahead, and not just a matter of willpower for the self. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like I think it's just a human misunderstanding, A lot of people don't really understand how systems work or how the numbers work, so they just assume that it's their fault or somebody else's fault, like for not being good enough for something, when you see it and you see that it's like there's a systemic issue. There's something within the system that has to change. And then when it comes to survival, it's interesting though how some people think that way. I guess some people just genuinely think, people should die. That's just what they think, because you're basically implying that, oh, well, if you can't hold 2 jobs down and live like that, then you just shouldn't exist. You should just be on the street. And I think that's kind of crazy, because a lot of these same people, I wonder, like, how they would feel if they were in the same situation, Because that's typically what happens, is it's people who are in comfortable enough positions just, like, haphazardly write off other people. Oh, they should just work harder. Oh, yeah, it's not, there's nothing wrong with the way the system is. It's people's fault. Where I'm always pointing out, like, I don't even think capitalism is a flawed system at all, but you can't have it based on the late stage capitalism, where so much of the money is just being handed down through nepotism and things, and then you don't even, like, I don't know how they would do it, but nepotism should honestly just be illegal. That would be like a huge step in the right direction. Like, you just wouldn't be able to do it. Like, you wouldn't be able to, there should be, I guess, like, a limit to how much. See, but people wouldn't like that, though. Because obviously it's like, oh, well, if you earn something, you should get to keep it and choose who it goes to and all that stuff. So I know there's, like, a moral conundrum with that, but, like, I with my recent understanding of things, I personally think that the next paradigm is the post-property and post-ownership paradigm. So, from my POV, it's no biggie. But I thought it was going to be, like, pretty early today, but it's not really looking like that. Yeah, it's not really looking like. Not really looking like it. But who knows? No, I really can't. I can't see how it. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see how I'm going to be that. I just thought I was, but I guess I'm not. But I did wake up early. I'm hoping tomorrow I should wake up earlier, because I did not really wake up early enough. I wanted to get more of my things uploaded, and I would have done that this morning, but I didn't. So Yep, kind of frustrating. Anyways, what else? Yeah, I don't have too much. Well, I did. It was just talking about, yeah, like the system and how nepotism probably isn't a good thing. I mean, if it could be regulated or something, but capitalism would be a great system if you just had it so that there was limits like that, like where you made it so it was really about personal work and skill, and nobody could hoard money. Like that would really be something good, even if it was, because I feel like this is the thing I want to point out. Like, yeah, it's not great. I guess you could make the argument it's not great that a lot of the tech people are billionaires, and they kind of get a lot of like attention and stuff, but I don't really think those are like the worst of the worst, because there's still people where they actually did something. Like I mean, they probably shouldn't have as much money as they do, but they actually do stuff. A lot of times it may have started with, some money backing from their parents, but I mean, that's not like that crazy. It's not like their parents gave them all that much money, at least I don't think. I could do more accurate research, but like the whole premise of what I'm getting to is I think the main problem is like the children of people who are filthy rich. And I'm talking about billionaires because I'm sure if we looked on the list of billionaires, I wouldn't be surprised if a majority of those people are just like a majority of those people just like they didn't do it themselves. Like they only did it because their dad was a billionaire, and then the money gets passed down. And I'm not saying that this is always the case, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if that is. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe most billionaires are like they're self-made billionaires, but what I'm talking about too is, I mean, even if your parent was a millionaire before, that does not guarantee that you're going to become a billionaire. So I'm saying like there's certain people where even if their parents are millionaires or whatever, and it gives them like a head start, it's still pretty impressive to become a billionaire, like to go from that to that. But then you have to think about like what their kids are going to be like, and what if their kids are not really that special? At least you can go through and kind of, the current tech crowd, the people that get all the hate and blame and stuff. But I don't really think like the problem is people like Mark Zuckerberg or like these. And again, I mean, I guess you make the argument his origin is kind of shady with the whole controversy with that. Like a lot of times billionaires do immoral things to get to where they're at, but I think you get the premise of what I mean. Like I don't know that we, I mean, yeah, I don't know that we have to just get rid of all the billionaires. I just think it's the ones where, like obviously Elon Musk's child is probably going to be a billionaire. It's basically guaranteed that that's going to happen. But they may not be fit for that. Like they might be, but they might not. They might not really have any reason to be in that position. And that's where the problem with capitalism is that it's like I don't know that there would be a problem with having a billionaire if it was truly a self-made billionaire. Cuz like I said, I'm okay with a degree of elitism. Like I don't think it's necessary that everybody has to be equal. There are certain humans that are just special. But what I'm saying is there's a mismatch because as is now, I don't think those humans who are special are even acknowledged. A lot of times they may be poor and broke, and that's a travesty that you have all that money clustered into the top and then you have brilliant minds who are just stuck in the 9 to 5 and just don't really have any. It's terrible. It's terrible. And of course, I think I'm in that kind of cohort, but I don't need that much money. I mean, I don't even need to be a millionaire, really. I'd be like perfectly fine just having, like I said, if I made 75,000 a year and just worked in AI and was basically just screaming in a room with a bunch of microphones and videos all day, cameras all day, like. I mean, I'm really willing to do a lot of good research for not much money. Because yeah, I mean 75,000 it's a lot, but I think for what I'm doing and the impact it would have, it's pretty good. And there's not a lot of people who could do the same thing, but that's really where I should be right now. And I'd be fine with 75,000. I mean, if they really wanted to give me that much more, that's obviously fine. But, especially in the beginning, I think I've explained this before. If anything, it's fine to have money taper off as time goes on. Because once you have, if I'm sitting on $500,000, like my income doesn't need to be that high. You know what I mean? If I have like $700,000 in my bank account, you know what I'm saying. But before, like, so yeah, maybe initially, but I think 75,000. It's just, I mean, it's really the perfect moral American number, but still maximalist. Because I guess you could make the argument moral is kind of iffy. Technically, you could go lower. I know if every adult was equal, it's more like 50,000, and 50,000 is doable if you do like roommates and stuff like that. It's just a shame people are as hard to deal with as they are, because if everybody was like me, I would actually, I mean, I'd have like multiple roommates, It'd be super cool in like some tiny apartment, and it would be really efficient, but it's other people that are the problem. I know I talked about this relatively recently. Like, people are just, they're either way too judgmental or they're very stupid themselves. And so that causes problems when you have to be around them all the time. It's just a frustrating scenario. But yeah, I'd love to have kind of like a network of people and we can just be happy living amongst each other. But nobody's like that. People are just weird. And I'm not. I mean, I'm just like competent at living with other people. I love it. But it's like the people, I mean, if they're too everybody's like judgmental about something, and they're just like stupid because the things they should be judgmental about, it's like they have to get their head screwed on straight. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the problem. That's honestly the problem. It's like I don't know. Pretty frustrating. But yeah, it's like crazy. It's crazy how messed up stuff is. But yeah, I don't need a lot of money. And I actually was getting enough to be happy, but then they cut my hours. And honestly, too, I mean, in retrospect, it is like a lot of hours. So I don't know if I really would have done. I mean, I probably would have done it indefinitely, but yeah, I still probably would now. But I'm saying, like, if I worked to my limit, I actually could be making a happy amount of money. I think it's not my 75, my coveted 75, but like I said, I don't even think I make 50,000, so it's really not a great situation. But like I said, I can make do with what I have. Like it's just in terms of my independence, it's not really there. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I was talking yesterday about clarity or peace or some kind of shift that's occurred or is occurring. And I don't know. I mean, how do I feel today? I still feel more at peace, I guess. Like I don't know that I feel as upset. I mean, that little like message box that came up in my car is going to bug me, but but other than that, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do feel more peaceful about things. Like I think I'm more at peace that I really don't need to upgrade, but I'm still keeping an eye on things. If a good deal comes along, because I really do like that. I really do like that iPhone Air. So I just kind of want to see. But it is true. Like it's not necessary. But yeah, that's the other thing I think as well. You know. But yeah, I think about so much. I still can't get over that. I know I've been talking about this a lot recently, but there's so many little details or things that I value that nobody else values. And it gets super draining because you spend time with people and you think about these memories and then you realize that the other person doesn't even do that. Like they don't even know. Kind of sad. Oh my gosh, here we go. Somebody flashing their high beams at me. Some of these people are just like speed demons. Like for no reason. Now he's just holding them down. Crazy. Big truck too doesn't care. Wish his social credit score fell for that one, you know? I don't know why so many people are like against it. I mean, I was too before. I don't know why I do that. I like mix things around. I used to be so against all that stuff, but I just don't care anymore. I'm so like just fed up with what I see every single day and how stupid it is. There needs to just be a camera on everything. Oh, I'm so excited for that reality. So excited for that reality. Because that's the only way that I'm ever going to feel good about things. Because the way it is now, there's just way too much. It's too much. It's too much incorrect information, and people in authority. A lot of times, too, it's just randomly in business. You know, like a lot of my qualms are with higher ups at my company or something like that. Just these random people. They don't have to follow any rules because if you own the company, you're just like. I mean, whoever thought a free market would make sense? I don't. Maybe it. I know. I really doubt it ever really made that much sense. I think it only made sense when you had more sensible people as a median conscious, like a median consciousness that was like doing things that made sense. But I don't completely even know. But it's definitely time to. But when you talk about rules, you obviously have to talk about good rules, because bad rules are worse than no rules, obviously. But good rules are like, I think the problem is the way we see government regulation is it's oftentimes like it's too broad, and there's not really enough nuance for different businesses and things like that. There's just not enough nuance. And I guess the optimistic idea would be that the extra difficulty in running a business nowadays, the good in that is same with like, I guess what I've referred to as the cost of living crunch, which is you kind of crunch and push people into needing to live more efficiently. I guess like that's a potential benefit, but I don't think that's actually what manifests, especially in business, because what will happen in business is it just means oftentimes the most parasitic of companies and the greediest of companies will weather the storm, whereas the good ones get knocked out. So that, like, I was gonna say that as a philosophy, like, oh well, maybe it's good that it's harder to run a business now because, the good businesses will stay at least. But I actually think in practice the opposite is true, which is why government regulation has not worked properly. But in the future, if you have an AI governance, that's going to solve that problem, because you can compartmentalize and basically have an AI monitor each business and come up with specific regulations for that specific business, and it become a very personalized calculation. So if it just has access to all the company data, and it sees like, oh, the CEO's making $10 million a year, and then the lowest person is only making $10 an hour, like, oh no, like get rid of that or you're gonna get your, you know what I'm saying, and it'll just correct it. But it depends on the actual business and stuff. Because that's like the truth is, and I've said this before, a lot of people in these businesses, they don't deserve to have them. We know that for certain. And so the AI could come through and fix things. That's what could happen. That's what my vision is for it, at least. Because it acts as like, it calculates and it figures out, oh, here's the wages you have to pay. Not that you should pay. This is how it's going to happen starting tomorrow. And it would go through all the different companies and just fix them. It would push down the prices of the managers. It would push up the wages of the workers, starting with the lowest hourly rate. And I don't know why that was like so hard for me to say. And it would just start fixing stuff, And I think there would probably still be a billionaire class, but it would be much smaller. There wouldn't be that many billionaires, and their wealth would still probably be adjusted a little bit. But like I said, honestly, I think it may be okay if somebody can be a self-made billionaire, but the AI would also track for moral, right? So if somebody has to do something immoral to get to the future, the AI would calculate whether it's worth it or not. Like it would be like trying to figure out, like trying to score how bad is the thing they're doing, and then how good is the result? Does it end up being worth it? You know what I mean? Like it would be one of those like calculations. It's actually pretty cool. And then it would make like a moral calculation as to overall what is the most worth it, given the initial consequence and then the lasting potential benefit. It's going to be cool. That's like in this case when I talk about theft and I talk about how, it's obviously, it's actually pretty moral if someone was able to steal from the rich in this system. Like the AI would probably calculate that is still morally better, even though there's an initial immoralness to it. Because I've already broken down before how like irrelevant and corrupt ownership is of things. It's just like it's just ridiculous, and it's ridiculously unnecessary too. I mean, even in this day and age, like nobody even has to be a millionaire just to live like a normal, good life. And there's so much stuff that's just junk, and like all the vacations and all that junk. Nobody should even be allowed to do that. Like I said, leisure travel, that should already be taxed like a lot. We're way behind. The government is just so behind. There should be taxes on all kinds of things, but we're still operating with freedom as a principle. And I just don't think that's really right, because it just shouldn't be like that. I don't know. It just should not. And yeah, I guess that's really, because we're still talking about freedom when it's like we've developed with science and we know what's better or worse now. We're well aware of it. And it's just crazy. So we basically, what happened is we know at this point now that freedom is not a good thing. We have that answer. We've gotten this far. We know freedom's no good. We know it's something we thought we wanted, but it's stupid. There's no reason for it. Let's get rid of it. I'm ready to start screaming over this because it's so stupid why we're still operating on this idea. Oh, freedom. Even though, if anything, people are already less free than they should be anyway. So you should at least make it fair. The only people who are free are rich. And there's less of a percentage of that nowadays than there was before. I mean, in some ways maybe there's more rich people, but in other ways there isn't. So it's all just such a joke. And it's very frustrating, but I just don't understand. I don't understand why. See, because people are still thinking as if, like, before technology, well, even before technology, why would you need the freedom to do bad stuff? It's so stupid. It's so stupid as like a right and a philosophy and like just a way of life. Like, why? Why do you need the freedom to be stupid? Why do you need the freedom to make the wrong decision? I'm such a living example of this, where it's like, my dad gave me so much freedom, and in retrospect, I wish I had more order. It's not, I don't see how there's anything good from freedom. Even people who want freedom, I think it's usually just some like grass is greener effect. I don't know that it's often rooted in truth. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Because like a lot of times when people want or think about freedom, it's people who they're still dependent on other people in greater society in order to be happy. That's like the huge differentiator. Like they say they want freedom, and they might say that they don't like other people, but at the end of the day, then it's like, oh well, the reason why the economy works is because of other people. Oh, because that's something I feel like I've blown people's mind. Like, some people are really that stupid. They don't understand, like, money only works because of other people. It's not because of you. It's not like your money is yours. It's a collective system. And so even rich people, they're dependent on poor people. Like, because if it wasn't for poor people working, then the value of the money would be depleted. So it's all just very jokey. It's all just a big joke. It's all it is. Just a big fat joke. All right, well, I suppose that's it. I think my driving time was a little bit longer today. I did take it a little bit easier. I don't know, because I'm kind of tired of the rush, of rushing a little bit. Just stretching. All right. Let's get situated now. All right. Yeah, my commute time must have just been like pretty long, because I feel like we ever hit 40 minutes like this, so that's how I assume's the case. I assume. But yeah, it's going to be... I'm hoping the high-speed days continue, and we can just get through today pretty fast. Because I'm fixing to lead. No, I'm joking. I'm just joking. I was going to say I'm fixing to lead this. No, I don't actually think like that. All right. Well, I think we're ready to go. So I think it's been schla, but now it's time to buy schla. So, see you schla.